What is the most ignorant thing you've overheard while shopping for groceries? 1. I watched a couple put a bag of grapes in their cart. It was full. As they walked off to continue their shopping, they each ate a grape. I remembered it because I was considering that bag of grapes. Because it had some of the best looking grapes, I took a different bag. I continued on with my shopping and headed to the checkout when done. The couple was ahead of me. The cashier went to weigh the grapes and noticed the bag was half full, with bare stems sticking out. She asked the couple if they had eaten any. They said no. That was the way it was when they picked it up. She said she couldn't sell them a bag that had obviously been eaten from, for health reasons, and she would have a clerk grab them a new bag. The couple said, if that bag isn't safe, how could they trust any of the bags, and that would just skip the grapes this time, and would buy them when they had safe grapes. I probably should have spoken up, but sometimes you get tired of fighting the good fight. So after they left, and the cashier reached for my grapes, I told her what I had seen, and that all the grapes on display were safe, and I was comfortable buying these. She just said I know. That was probably the most ignorant conversation I overheard in a grocery store. 2. I was at the CVS pharmacy in my town, and overheard yelling in the back of the store. I am one of those kinds of people that cannot just sit watch while something bad is going down. As I went to the back of the store, I noticed 2 black women screaming at an elderly man, white man. I waited to hear what they were yelling about so that I could determine who was in the wrong. Turns out the old guy was a racist pig, and a Karen, and thought that his color should be enough to cut in line in front of them. I positioned myself directly in between them, turned to the 2 women, and with a warm heart, I begged on his behalf, and for all those that have thrown out racist remarks to them, how humbly sorry that they had to bear witness to such unacceptable behavior. I then turned to the old guy, mind you I look like a motorcycle biker, and right to his face told him that he was very lucky that he was ancient. Otherwise I would have decked him in the face. It was at this point in time the old man shut the hell up, and as I turned back to the 2 ladies, I saw tears in their eyes as they repeatedly thanked me for my assistance. I told them I would remain there until they leave to ensure this guy leaves them alone. 3. I was shopping at a Costco and was picking out a watermelon when a woman on the opposite side of the carton picked one and began shaking it. She noticed me watching and said, "You pick out a good watermelon by shaking it and listening for the seeds rattling around." Since they were seedless watermelons, and well, they were watermelons, I didn't know how to even begin. I nodded as if I had achieved wisdom, and took my watermelon and left, but I couldn't help but put it to my ear and shake it just for fun. 4. I was once shopping at the grocery store and put several Passover products in my cart. That included boxes of matzahs, some kosher grape juices and boxes of matzah ball soup and some packaged cookies and dessert mixes that were all labeled kosher for Passover. I overheard some woman with her teenager daughter and son mentioning that those Jewish products are unhealthy and even bad for the environment, and the companies are owned by people who committed many acts of fraud and earned a fortune off refugees during World War II. I tried to ignore the stupid comment, but when the teenager daughter asked her mom, "Is it true that the Jews fabricated the Holocaust in order to invade Palestine and kill all those Arab people?" the mother responded with, "As far as I know that's true." I was so incensed and I just turned and yelled, "Are you serious?" The mother and her 2 kids starting all yelling at me and were making all sorts of accusations about Jews did this and Jews do that. The store manager came by to see what all the